Hey everyone, and welcome to the Reaching the Heights podcast experience, episode 30. On today's show, I want to discuss with you guys about observing your competition. We know that the Great Britain Championships are on this weekend, so I thought it would be perfect timing to get into a bit more depth around observing your competitors. Now guys, I get a lot of messages from dancers that might panic right before a competition. And again, it always happens, especially at the big majors. So I thought it would be fantastic to share my methods with you guys. I'm not saying you have to stick to this. I'm just giving you an example of how it worked for me. And if I can help any of you guys out there, then I've done my job right. So we're going to discuss about observing your competition. Now guys, everyone is different as a competitor, okay? No matter what level of dancer you are, top, middle, bottom, everyone has their own methods of getting focused that day. But to understand if you're progressing, to understand results, you need to know what your competition is doing. How is the top dancer placing first? How is the other dancers placing second, third, fourth? And why are you at the bottom? So I feel that it is a must that if you do want to build your results, you do have to observe your competition months leading up to the biggest event. So you're actually watching what wins, whether that's the girl in your age group might have beautiful styled feet. Is it power? Is it sharpness? What is it? What is missing in your performance that your top competitors are doing? Now guys, because everyone is different levels, you might be a dancer that sits around the top 30 mark, okay? And you might know the competitors 5 above you or 5 below you. And that's your top range, because what you're doing is you're making sure that you're beating those top 5 and they're doing the same to you until you get ahead. And then you're in a different scenario with the top 20. Okay, who's my top 20? So I'm not saying if you're at the bottom, you've just got into recall at the worlds that, okay, I just have to start analysing myself to the world champion. You go at your standard and your performance and you start to build your results slowly. If I was you, what I would do is I would watch my competition coming up to the biggest event. For example, months before the World Championships, I'd be watching, you know, what the top 10 are doing, what the first, second, third place are doing, what's the recall level getting through at. Then start observing on what you see straight away that's eye-catching. Because there is a reason why a winner wins. They're either ticking all the boxes, their performance is either amazing, and they are doing something correct. So guys, I feel that you can analyze your top competitor on where you're placing. Then analyze an overall performance of how your competition is looking. You know, if you're watching any sort of competition, the standard is always different. So if you're looking at the under 9s, the under 10s, the under 11, every world champion is normally different. Or some may have the same style or the same power, the same sharpness. But you focus on what your competition is. And it means that even if you take away that, oh my god, the girl that keeps beating me, I know what she's doing right. Her front click, she's smashing on her last step and she's not looking weak, because I struggle towards the end of my last step and I know that my front clicks are low, and they see these little tiny wee dots. You just keep connecting, and then your performance can increase. Dancers, I can't stress enough to you that when you sit back in an audience perspective, or if you sit back like you want to judge your own competition, you will see what stands out. You will see, number one, how people at the top are ticking the basic checklist, the basic technique for Irish dance, number one. But it's how they execute the movements. So if you can even look at those guys, write down notes, take it away, and start adding in what you can do in your own steps in class, then that's you pushing yourself again to the top. Because you're watching what wins. You're watching what dancers get into recall levels. So I think definitely you have to look at your competition. Now, saying that, if you're the type of girl that might be nervous, just want to focus on yourself, then by all means, you know, get your teacher or someone you trust, and so that they can give you feedback. Okay, we just watched your top competitors and she was doing this. You don't do that because X, Y, and Z. So if you don't know, if you're not watching what you're up against, then you're always going to be questioning yourself, why is my results not increasing? There's always a reason for it. So definitely try to observe your top competitors, no matter what level you are, novice, prelim, prize winner, championship. We all have that scenario of people, either 5 above or 5 behind us, that's the range you want to beat. Then when you start increasing, like I said before, there'll be another 5 that you want to beat. So don't put that much pressure on yourself. If you're just getting the recall right now and you're comparing yourself to the world champion, take it day by day so you can build yourself up slowly to that. But observing, taking away is fantastic. Now, saying that, guys, if you turn up, for example, at the group writtens this weekend, it's way too late to start, you know, looking at your competition and observing that. You're getting up on stage within seconds, so you can't take away what you've just saw. It has to be done months leading into a major. Okay, because you're getting in there with your own corrections to focus on, with your own steps. You've just shredded and worked your backside off up the coming months, and the last little bit of pressure you need is to start worrying about the other dancers in your competition, because once you walk in the day of, it's all about you. But guys, you know, with me, when I danced, I think I was a little different compared to everyone else, in a way of when I was dancing the World Championships and I won my first Worlds, for example. When I was going back to try to retain that title, I kind of stopped watching my top competitors, because I felt like it was going to put more pressure on me or put my whole mindset off completely. So what I done was, I obviously trusted in my dance teachers and also my sister that was training me as well. So I knew that they were going to be honest with me. All they had to say to me after they watched my top competitors was, okay, Lauren, she was really, really strong today, and make sure you cover this, cover that, like, you know, and so on. Or if they were weaker, they'd be like, no, Lauren, like, they kind of died on this step, you're really good at your full performance, so make sure you execute X, Y, and Z. So I used to get these little tips, knowing that, okay, this is what I need to do before I get up. Now, if I was on before them and afterwards, I would know I have to make sure I get up there and really knock the standard to another level, knowing that I only get one shot at every single dance. So when I got at the competition and my top competitors come on stage, then I just would have took myself out of the hall, focused on my own routine, focused on what I was doing in the lead, because I was obviously visualizing and watching the stage before that. So I used to just take myself outside, just focus on myself the whole day, over every movement, every beat, where I was meant to go. Then I left it up to my dance teachers and the people that I trusted to let me know about my top competitors. And if they were doing something I wasn't, or if I was lacking in something, my teachers would be the first to let me know. So I would know then that when I come away from that competition, okay, that's another thing I need to add into my training, so that doesn't happen to me again. I don't want that to be my weak area. And then if I got to the next competition, I would pick up maybe another example. So then I started really connecting the dots together, and I feel like the build up to winning my first Worlds was where I really started to gel all these dots together, knowing that what I was up against. And there was obviously a lot of things I was missing before I even won my first world title. And that's just a scenario, guys, of when I was competing. You know, like I said before, whatever your standard is, whatever competition is, if it's a local competition, whatever level of dancer you are, you have your own goals and who you want to beat in that competition. Okay, you know, it may be very difficult. You know, a lot of people have maybe 7 to 9 dancers in their actual school in the same age group, and that's a lot of pressure as well. So even though you're in dance class, you're still looking at your actual competitors as well. So it's a good thing, as in you know exactly what way they're dancing in a dance class, and then you're comparing it to yourself. With me, it was me and just another dancer, so I didn't have that, but I feel like it was a benefit to me because it's not that much pressure when we were going to a competition that it was only the two of us then. It wasn't like 8 or 9, which I find obviously very difficult if you're top dancers or if you're in that category where you may be the top 20 or top 30. The good thing is you do observe each other. So if you're dance class 3-4 days a week, you're watching your competition 3-4 days a week right in front of you, because they're the ones that you're, you know, trying to get ahead of. So with me, yes, I did take myself out of the competitions because I didn't want to put more pressure on myself or make myself nervous, but that's just how I was. And I didn't realize that until I really started to get to the top. I felt like when I was slowly getting up there, I could have watched them, okay? And then I always took my little notes, wrote them down, okay, this is what I need to do next time and so on. And then when I really started to gel that together and really get to the top, then it was the fact of, Lauren, focus on yourself. You're doing everything right now. But again, you always need to stay ahead, guys, no matter what level you are. So definitely watching your top competitors, watching the overall competitors months out before a competition. You learn so much. And with Great Britain's around the corner, I don't want you guys putting pressure on yourselves, walking in now thinking, oh, okay, I need to start watching her more, I need to start watching her more. And this is just an example about going forward. So even if you are at the Great Britain's and you want to maybe observe your competition for your Oireachtas, then that's perfect, right? Because a Oireachtas is a good few weeks then after that, or a month or so, sorry. So either way, guys, I think it's very important. A lot of people sometimes don't get it, and it's okay to not get it. A lot of dancers think, God, I'm definitely better at her. Like, I don't know why she's beating me. Why is it? Sit down, watch her start to finish, watch her 3 rounds, and then you might see that little difference of attack or spark or her ability to increase height, or how she must be good at something, right? So you do have to compare yourself and be hard on yourself and accept what you see, because the bottom line is, if you want to get ahead and be the best you can be, you have to accept your strengths and your weaknesses. And of course, when you're watching your competitors, accept theirs too. And like everyone, we all learn in life. So you only get better as a dancer, so it's a fantastic thing. I used to love observing when I was younger growing up, and then my dance teachers telling me what I needed to work on. I loved that challenge. I loved knowing that my competitor was really good at rhythm, so I really emphasized on my rhythm too, so I could be just as good, if not better. So even if I was strong at something and my top competitor was really strong, I wanted to be ahead of that again. So I really emphasized on building the sharpness on that rhythm, or stronger in the back foot in that rhythm. So I knew every competition I had that little pot to work on, and then I ticked it, and then I moved on to the next thing, and then I ticked that box, and then I moved on to the next thing. If you don't even have a challenge of knowing what you're working on in class, it's like you're trying, you're getting nowhere, so you're just hitting a brick wall. So where does it change? Okay, if you're going into dance class, every single week you should know different sections that you should be working on to get ahead. And what is more perfect than watching your competition? If you're nervous, get someone you trust, get them to watch the competition, and then they can feed back to you. So then you have a real game plan in your head, and you know exactly, okay, this is what I need to do, and so on. So I feel, guys, that with my methods, being a beginner right up to getting to the top, that long year challenge, I felt that observing the competition even from a young age right up. Sometimes, yes, when I was young, I didn't know what I was looking for. Of course, as you get older, you understand a lot more on attack, sharp, point to your toes, staying high on toes. And when I really started to see that in my competition, I was like, whoa, there's so many good light dancers. I didn't know this. until I sat down one day and was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So I think it's a must. And then guys, it's a good challenge for everybody, but the fact that you know that your results are going to start increasing because you are taking sections, you're not going in doing the same daily thing and then question yourself every single year when you go to the Great Britons, I still haven't got that recall. Why am I still getting top 20? Remember, there is a reason. Watch your competition, look at what's winning, look at what is getting the recall, look at your top 20, look at all the sections you can, write it all down, and then compare yourself to it. And the best thing to do that as well is getting someone to record you doing step about, and also how you look when you do a food dance. Because how you do a step about is completely different and when you click all the steps as one. And then judge your overall performance. You're getting on stage, judges aren't judging you, okay, do your lead, and then stop, get a break. Okay, now your next step. No. You have to go up and you have to smash your dance, start to finish. And I'd say, before you even started reaching new heights, that was I'd say 95% of dancers' big weakness. You would see a strong, powerful dancer come out, smash their dance, and I'd say within seconds just completely fail because they couldn't lift their legs. The lactic acid took over the body, it was right down. And now everything's starting to change, which is fantastic, but that was then. I know some people, of course, still struggle with that today, but again, you're going up and you're doing 3 clean rounds. You have your first strong round, which is your hard shoe round, that you need to know what strength you have, what your weaknesses is coming to the end of the dance, and then compare it to the light. Hard shoes is completely different from light shoes again. And then, of course, short set dances and long set dances. You should have a little book, a little jotter of your first round and what you see at your competition. Write that all down, whether it's a heavy jig, whether it's a hornpipe. And then your next session will be, okay, this is lights now. Who's getting the greatest height? Who's winning on this? Is it a bit more points? Is it a bit more execution? What is it? Then have your section on slip jig and reel. And then start looking at what is winning compared to set dances. Because when you see top dancers, you wouldn't really see them do a short set dance. Normally it's medium or the longest set. So observe that. What way does a long set dance look? Is that what's winning? What about a short set dance? And then compare the two. And the bottom line is as well, doing a longer set dance, of course, is more impressive. It's harder work and it's longer. But then again, your set dance really is what shoots you right up there, because that's your time to shine. If you're unreal at rhythm and so on, or judges may not have paid that much attention to you in your first round, but see, come your set dance, this is your time to shine. But then again, you can't leave it too late to your last dance. But observing that for the whole age group one-on-one, you see exactly every great detail when you sit and watch every single dancer, because they're by themselves on stage. You hear and you see everything, and I think it's fantastic to increase your results that way. So guys, I think I've covered enough and gave you advice on what I felt as a dancer that helped me, and what you guys can take away from the Great Britons this weekend and start adopting into what you saw there and adopt it into your Oireachtas training. Because I know a lot of qualifying is coming towards the start of November, and some people have it again in the middle of December. So I know everybody's on the same boat, straight after Great Britons and straight into that. So if I was you guys, I would take a lot of notes of your competition, whoever your top competitors are, or whoever is the top 5 that beat you, maybe at Oireachtas. That's entirely up to you, depending on what style of dancer you are or what level you are. But I would definitely get my notebook out for this weekend and really just start observing. Start increasing your results in a different way as well. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me on today's show. I hope that at least one of you guys have took away something from this. And I hope you kind of really adopt it for your qualifying, and I hope you get the results you want and deserve. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on my next podcast.